Everyone, today is November 16th, 2020, and we are returning with our weekly updates for the city of Peekskill. My name is Rainey. I'm the proud mayor of the great city of Peekskill, and I'm joined by our wonderful city manager, Mr. Andy Stewart. How you doing, Andy?
It's great to be with you, Mayor. Thank you very much.
Likewise, likewise. So there's a lot to run down. I'll try to get through it as fast as I possibly can, and you can look forward to seeing us back up again every week. The first thing I wanted to touch on was, for those of you who have been paying attention, you've noticed that we've finalized and finally created our local police task force. And we're looking for more engagement from the community. We've had our public meeting about a week and a half ago, and not many people attended, but our next one is going to be December 17th. So anybody that's involved in the community, that's in the public arena, that wants to come and speak or suggest or ask questions, that will be the time to do it. We're looking more so for recommendations from the community in order to make our policy ideas even better, that are more unique to the city of Peekskill. And just an FYI, the committees that we have are the Education, Training, and Equipment Committee, the Transparency and Accountability Committee, the Policy and Procedure Committee, the Community Engagement Committee, and Recruitment and Hiring. So if any one of those committees actually takes your attention and you'd like to be involved, please contact us. The city website has all of the information, as well as the city social media page. And you can just contact us. You can suggest, you can work with one of these committees, whatever you want to do. But we'd love to have
you. Mayor, your audio just cut out.
Yep, go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, I was just going to add on to that, it's really the task force of 20 people or so is really an extraordinary group. And it's very diverse. It's very representative. These are members of the public in Peekskill who are volunteering to go through some pretty painstaking review of policy issues, of how policing works in the context of county and state law, and looking and actually we have a police officer assigned to each committee. The Chief Halmy has seen to that. So everybody's learning from each other, and some great discussions are happening. And it's really important that on the December 12th, December 17th meeting, there'll be a lot of media on that, and it'll be easy to find on Facebook, and we've got flyers and so on. Folks, come out, just ask your questions, listen in, make suggestions, and join the process.
Absolutely. Thank you, Andy. I also wanted to mention that the city of Peekskill has been trying to get back on task with everything that's happening. As many of you are fully aware, the spike of COVID numbers has increased throughout the entire nation, especially in the state of New York and in Westchester County. So we've been doing as much as we possibly can think of to remind people, to encourage people to continue to social distance, to also continue to wear masks, and also to just keep your hands clean, keep your surfaces in your homes clean, wash your hands, sanitize your hands. The city of Peekskill, we still have sanitizer for local businesses if you need it. Don't hesitate to email me, myself, or the city manager. We still have masks as well. If you need it, please just contact us, but continue to social distance because the numbers have spiked up significantly.
Yeah, and just to that point, Mayor, as of this past Friday, there were 108 active cases in Peekskill. That means cases that have begun in the last 14 days. After 14 days, people either they get better, they test negative, and it's done. So 108 is up a lot. It was about almost half of that a week or two ago. And if you go back into the summer months or fall months, it was in the double digits, 9, 10, 11, 15 cases. So this is a spike that's happening for a lot of reasons. People are coming together, and it's cold weather. Maybe they're not outside as much where it's safer. But there's just no excuse at this point. Everybody's had the message, the masks, the hand washing, the social distancing. It's hard. It's a challenge. You got to hold each other accountable. Don't be a spreader. Don't be a spreader. Because what you may be thinking you're taking a risk for yourself, but you're really taking a risk for everybody else.
Absolutely,
because people don't have symptoms, and the germ spreads, and people can be quite, they can get real sick or they can die. And I just wanted to say a few things about what city actions. It's too long a list, but I'll go over it tonight at our meeting, and we can put it out in various ways. But literally dozens of actions on the part of the city of Peekskill over the last 8 or 9 months. And they range from operational changes, creating a host of ways for people to get services or participate in meetings remotely. They go through to having a doorway at the city hall, which is staffed, where there's a health survey and masks and sanitizer and body temperature checks. They range over into new rules and regulations for streets, enabling restaurants to use outdoor space more aggressively, getting out into the sidewalks and parking spaces in some cases, so that people can dine safely. There's just a really wide range. Internally, stuff people never know anything about, but the way we run the fire department, first responders, is so important to make sure that we don't have a spreading event in the police department or in the fire department. And so those teams and shifts have organized differently in order to prevent the cross-contamination of shifts. The cleaning routine, we've got foggers and sprayers going over all the playground equipment, public restrooms down in the riverfront and up in Depew. A routine around cleaning high-touch surfaces like doorknobs and railings and things like that in City Hall and in our other office and workstations. Every aspect of city operations has been reviewed to see how we can do it while facilitating social distancing and cleansing it and not passing the germs. One thing we really cannot do is reach deep into the community and actually talk with people who aren't listening. And that's the hard part right now, because so many of us have seen these messages over and over. The mayor has done so much to spread the word and remind people. But there are people out there who are not doing what they should do. And that's a problem. The city organization is not set up to tackle that. We work with public health authorities. We repeat their messages. We comply with their rules. And we ensure that restaurants and delis and other businesses are in compliance with those rules, which is really important. I mean, you basically can't walk through a doorway in Peekskill without seeing a sign that says, "Please put a mask on." So
you also want to keep in mind that the spread has really increased since the reopening process has kind of expanded a little bit more. So what happens is people have gotten so comfortable during the reopening process that they kind of eliminated the idea that COVID still exists. So people are very comfortable with doing things back in the old normal way, but there isn't an old normal way. It's going to be a new normal going forward, and we can't convey that message enough. I know other municipalities are going in a state of emergency. The city of Peekskill was in a state of emergency and has been in the state of emergency since early March this year. We haven't taken the city of Peekskill out of a state of emergency, so it's great to hear that others are doing so, but this is something that we've done almost 8 months ago, and we haven't removed ourselves from it, which has allowed us to do some of the things that Andy just mentioned, as far as changing work shifts, changing staff, and reducing staff in some cases as well, and asking some of our staff, if not all of our staff, to work remotely. So there's a lot of opportunity out there for us to work as a community to keep the numbers down, but we have to be willing to be accountable as well. And a lot of us are wearing masks everywhere we go, but you're not carrying sanitizer. So you're shaking hands with somebody who may be infected. You're touching a door, or you're riding a trail, or a train, or you're going to a store and ordering some food, and you're touching areas that may be sanitized, especially on the outside areas, and you're not keeping yourselves clean as well. So that's just something to be mindful of. And even though the governor continues to put executive orders out, if you can avoid that, then do it. So the governor says, for example, 10 people at a household at a time for the holiday season. If you can go without 10 people, just with your family, your 4 or 5 people, then do that. It's nothing that any of us want to do. My family's coming up a way where my aunt Charlene, I love her to death. She's cooking food and we're picking up and leaving. Like, this is going to be a year where we're not going to be together. But don't just make the governor's executive order your lifestyle. If the governor says 10 people and you can make it 4 people for safety reasons, make it 4. If the governor says close your restaurant at 10, if you can close at 9, make it 9. But just be mindful. These executive orders aren't to hurt businesses. And the city of Peekskill is following these executive orders as well as creating our own. But it's for the safety of our community as a whole.
Yeah, and it is an ongoing effort. And just the other day, I ran out of my house. I was going to get a haircut. And I was halfway down the block. I realized I didn't have my mask on. So I just turned around and run back. I was late for my haircut.
Just make sure nobody gets any pictures of you outside like that.
I know. So it takes effort. You got to have one in your pocket and here and there.
Yeah.
But you can do
I
it.
keep 2 in the car, 1 in my face, and 1 and plenty in the
I
house.
was
But
wearing a
yeah.
different jacket, so it didn't, got a little chilly. Changed jackets, didn't have my usual mask there. Had to turn around
Yeah.
and look up there.
So importantly, the city of Peekskill has also been on the phone with the school district. We've also been on the phone with the county and the Department of Health, just trying to figure out what we're going to do in the city of Peekskill as we're climbing numbers, getting closer and closer to yellow zone, orange zone, and even red zone. So we're encouraging people to continue testing. We're working with the county Department of Health to try to see if we can get an additional location in the city of Peekskill for testing so people can get tested. So the more cases that we have, the more that we're aware of, the more we can fight it, the better we can fight it. So I encourage people, even though the executive order says 10 people in a home, if you can do less, do less. Make sure everybody sanitizes and make sure everybody gets tested before you get together. Take some time out, maybe 2 weeks prior to getting together, and actually take some time out to take a test yourself, and then plan some time with your family. But even in that time, keep yourself extremely safe and extremely sanitized at all times.
Yeah, I just wanted to change a little bit and mention 2 organizations, which are, there's so many organizations in Peekskill doing great work, but 2 of them that we collaborate with very directly with the city, and that's the IDA, the Industrial Development Agency, and the BID, the Business Improvement District. Each one of them are helping out in really great ways. The Business Improvement District has a plan to bring a really world famous statue of Harriet Tubman to Peekskill in December. And it's really an extraordinary thing. It's going to be set up in a public park on the corner of North Division. It's a beautiful monument, and it's really going to be attractive, and it's going to go along with a lot of educational work. I'm just super excited about that. The Business Improvement District is really worked with our Public Works Department to figure out how to get it in there. It's going to be there for temporarily for a few months, and it's just a very exciting project.
Yeah, and thanks to the fern tree too. They've done a lot of work in keeping the historic past of Peekskill present, and the Peekskill Museum as well. They've done a lot of work to keep the history here. So thank you to the BID and to the IDA for that. Bringing it up on a good note, the West Cop has continued to work with the city of Peekskill and the Youth Borough. The original idea, or the initial idea, was to have a food pantry every Friday during the COVID process during the summertime, and they've expanded it to the end of November, possibly into December, depending on how things look. So every Friday at 1 p.m. for the seniors in the city of Peekskill, we'll be giving out bags of groceries to those who need, or those who just want it, for free, right in the Peekskill Youth Borough parking lot. It's going to be 1 o'clock for seniors and 2 o'clock for everyone else while supplies last every Friday afternoon. So please, again, it was supposed to only go till summer, but because COVID has not ended, West Cop and Feeding Westchester, as well as the city of Peekskill and the Youth Borough, have collaborated. We're going to continue this as far as we can. And they're also giving out free turkeys next week. So if you would like a turkey, you can come to just email me at Rainey at City of Peekskill, or you can go to West Cop's website, and you can just register for a free turkey, and they'll make sure that they have it on that day.
Yep, and I know that the CHOP, the group that runs the homeless shelter, also has a turkey.
Fred's Pantry. Yep.
Yeah, Fred's Pantry.
That's this Saturday. That's this
Saturday. Saturday. Is it the 21st? I think.
Yeah.
So, and just on a broader note, the amount of free food under distribution in the city of Peekskill has just multiplied over the last year, as various groups, the West Cop, Fred's Pantry, our own nutrition program, the Rotary, and others have really stepped up. And Feeding Westchester is a countywide organization that has inventory and delivers pallets full of food, and it's really helped people. We look at the safety and health practices side of the COVID epidemic, but we also need to look at the social and economic impacts and how dramatically, people have lost jobs, people's businesses have closed, right. and there's real food security issue there. The school district has done amazing work distributing free meals, and so it's just something to keep in mind.
Absolutely.
Help out with those things. And Mayor Rainey, the work you've done with West Cop is great. Every Friday you're out there, rain or shine, and there's music playing, and people are lined up around the block. And it really shows the spirit of the city.
Absolutely. So on a brighter note, just some good news I'd like to share is we had where we're going to have a ribbon cutting very soon for the Apple Farm grocery store. They had their grand opening a couple of weeks ago. We're going to be doing a ribbon cutting for the Apple Farm grocery store right off of Welcher Avenue. So make sure you get out and check it out. Very, very great store. We also had a ribbon cutting for Damn Good damn good English muffins,
right?
Yeah. Which was a lot of fun. The mayor of Croton came out, Mayor Bryan came out as well, and other members of the community. Deb was there for the Hudson Valley Chamber of Commerce. It was a really great event. And the school district is also planning their ribbon cutting. It's going to be limited now because of COVID. We were going to have school board members, council members, and other members of the community, but they're probably just going to have school board members, myself, and maybe Andy on behalf of the city of Peekskill, only because of COVID.
You're talking about the parent center that's in the old firehouse.
Yes, the parent center at the old firehouse, as well as the following is going to be the new turf football field.
Right.
I should just say turf field. All right, so the new turf field, but it looks beautiful. Both projects are coming along wonderful, and I'm looking forward to that as well. Just want to share some good news.
Yeah, that is good news. And a couple items before we wrap up, just city council discussion items for tonight. The Harriet Tubman Monument topic is out, just making sure we coordinate with the Business Improvement District. The having a contractor to do repairs and construction on Fleischman Pier. And Fleischman Pier is an amazing resource. Yes. And there's funding and grants. The city's going to be spending some money out of its parks fund to make that pier really work as a place where boats can come in and people can enjoy the river. So that's exciting. We also have a really important project going on with the fire department, getting some consulting services, looking at policy issues, working with the chiefs, the volunteers, the career officers. Mm-hmm. And that's an exciting project that we're going to be talking about tonight.
Yeah, I also mentioned the DPW needs assessment, where we've been talking about it for a long time. So we're actually now finally looking to take some action on trying to get the DPW a new everything, just a new everything, new location, new building. You know, that everybody always talks about how great our DPW staff is and how hard they work. And, you know, for years and years, we've been trying to find funds, trying to find a way to get them a new building that's a little bit more safe during the summer months as well as the winter months when it's too cold out there to move. So we're finally in the process of getting that started, and we're looking forward to seeing where that goes. And importantly, we just had our public hearing for the local budget for 2021. I thank Andy and every department head that really was very conservative this year, just making sure that they tried to stay as low as they possibly can. We've had to make some hard decisions this year, some hard choices to prepare us for next year. The one good thing I like to always say that you know, for the city of Peekskill uniquely, we were a recipient of the DRI grant, which is a $10 million grant for our downtown. So that is one thing that we can look forward to next year, dealing with the budget challenges that we'll have. So I'm looking forward to it. And I thank you, Andy, for putting together the budget that you put together with the staff. And it's, in these challenging times.
It really is an exciting time in Peekskill. And on the outside, you can see all this great activity. This community is just thriving in many ways, and there's investment. Our organization it's pretty bare bones, in terms of staffing. We've eliminated positions in an effort to control cost. And so we're working real hard, and we appreciate the cooperation of local residents and businesses because we only have so much time in the day. We strive to meet every need. And there's an attitude in City Hall, which is you may not know the answer, but you can refer somebody and you can go find them help. A lot of times people are asking for help with things that have nothing to do with city government. And so we put them in contact with another agency, whether it's the county or the state. But in any case, there's really a can-do attitude. But the budget is very, very, very lean. And in many cases, we're working understaffed. But at the same time, the city's growing, right. With the DRI and the new construction on Main Street and down on Lower South Street and other places, there's a lot of money getting spent. But that money isn't really getting spent in city government. We're playing a supporting role.
Yeah, so there's a lot to look forward to. There's a lot that we got to prepare ourselves for, and a lot of things we got to do as a community. So I'm continuously asking everybody out there, please wear your mask, sanitize your hands. If you have a bullhorn, let people know to wear a freaking mask.
Use it.
I might not be able to do it myself, but that was actually not a bad idea. So if you can tell people, find a way to get the message out, wear your mask, and be accountable for your actions. Be accountable for your actions. So, Andy, I thank you for everything, my friend.
Thank you.
I know we went over time, but it's been a while since we've done this. So good to see you on here again. And we'll be back again next week.
All right. Take care now, Mayor.
All right.